Hello everybody! Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Saturday! I hope your weekend is going well. Welcome to our live stream. Quick apology, the news video is not out yet. It's under construction. It is running late and will be out at a later point today. might be the ironically Saturday news video by then, but we're gonna figure it all out. Today, I want to do more remix testing, but first, there are two things that I can do today to help progress my meta achievement, which I'm getting closer to. There's one of them is to check the Eon's Fringe daily to see if I need it, but another one, as has been pointed out, there is a cataloging world quest I need. I have it on my checklist here. There's the Mysterious Fisher cataloging world quest is currently up in Thaldraszus, so I need to do that. I need to take a picture. But first, I'm at the Eon's Fringe thing already, because evidently I did not move my character after yesterday, so let me take a look at this and see if I need it. I'm still waiting for 3 more storms, so we'll check on the storm at around 11 a.m.-ish. I'm waiting for fire and snow in Thaldraszus, and then snow in the Onaran Plains. Woolomancer is this quest. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure I need that one. Let's just kind of double check here. Woolomancer, we do need that. So that's going to bring us 2, 4, 6. This will be 7 of 8. Off and away. Just got Tyven. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Have you played Pandemonium yet? We did some yesterday on stream, and we'll do more today. I have a Void Elf PTR hunter who is named Ventriculus. He's pretty fabulous. I've been using that to noodle around and test it out. I did not play any more yesterday off stream. But I read all the announcement posts again a bunch of times because I was trying to collect my notes on them. And also because I could have sworn I heard somewhere that there was going to be a thing where you could not use add-ons for Remix, for Remix Pandaria. But I can't find that written down anywhere. So I'm starting to think that I just hit my head and had a dream. Because it wasn't in the announcement post, it wasn't in the FAQ update. Wowhead didn't say it in their post, at least as far as I can tell. So maybe I just imagined that, and maybe you will be able to use that after all. Deathsight, thank you for the 3-month resub. Need Nat Pagel and Abigar for the entire meta. Nice. Fellow nerds of the chat, how's everyone doing? Hello, howdy, good morning. It's a beautiful Saturday this morning. The weather is lovely outside. I'm doing okay. I had a bad day yesterday. I had a great stream, but then it was all downhill after that. But we're figuring it all out. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm just stressed, but I'll be alright. Hi, kitty cat. Getting everything organized. Everything kind of happens all at once sometimes. So that brings us to 7 of 8 for Fringe benefits. Very exciting. Because once I get that done, Dragon Quest will be finished. 2, 4, 6, 7. So yeah, I just need one of these gray ones to spawn. And not Time Lost Trio, because that one, I don't want to have to do the intro quest, so I'm going to wait for a different one. However, time to go cataloging. I'm pretty sure that I've been doing, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I've been doing it on this character. On this one, Across the Isles, Wake Me Up, Legendary Album, yeah, so there we go. I need the Mysterious Fisher and Nat Pagel. And after this, I just need Nat Pagel. It must have been a little while since he's shown his Nat Pagel face, because I know I'm not the only one that's missing that one. Maybe you mixed it with Plunderstorm. I thought someone had said it about Remix specifically, but yeah, maybe I don't know where I got it from. Thought this was a total Panda Land thing. I'm not streaming it just yet. I will be, but I'm doing a couple things in Dragonflight real quick before I log over, if that's the confusion. Been waiting for a non-bugged Thaldraszus Firestorm for weeks. I think I also need... Yeah, I need Fire in Thaldraszus as well. Hopefully they eventually, at some point soon, get the... hopefully they get the double storms back up and running. That would be nice. Let me see. One moment, please. I want to check. I had a macro, and it was gonna find that Time Warp Mysterious Fisher. I used to have a button just to invite Flabby to a party. There it is. That's the one that we need. So we'll put that here. And then, so far, every time I've tried to get a legendary photo, assuming that I've been at the correct location, it's been spawning for me every single time. I don't know. That must mean I'm particularly lucky, because I've heard people say, make sure you don't, do your quest pictures until you have your legendary one, because sometimes it can take a number of tries before it spawns. That has yet to happen to me, but we'll see. I'll take a look here. This one, I'm just mashing my target keybind here. Legendary is a guaranteed spawn. That's different from what I've heard, but apparently I hear all kinds of things. Some of them aren't even, some of them I didn't even hear. They just happened in my brain. It makes it hard to be, confident about saying anything, because I don't know what's going on up here anymore. I thought I knew things, and I don't. Never not had one spawn since I unlocked them. What photo is up? Oh, look, it's me. I think that was it. I think that was the one I needed. Let me double check. Yeah, we're down to just needing that peggle now, so we're all set. I didn't get a target on it, I don't think, because it actually had my name, but we'll run it again to finish the quest because I think we're good now. Yeah, Mysterious Fissure. Time Warp Mysterious Fissure is the one that is currently up in Thaldraszus for another 2 days and 22 hours. I don't really need to finish this. It's just for Dragon Scale Expedition reputation, but I've started it, so I feel like I should finish it just for the sake of being thorough. You can use normal flying in Remix. You can also dragon ride in Remix. This isn't a hunter. Astute. Astutely observed. Yeah, I need Nat Peggle now too. It's the last quest that I need. He's Onarn Plains 52,57. We had a couple of the other Onarn Plains one up, but that doesn't help anybody. Well, I guess I can take a pen and I can check off my list. I have a note page where I've been just marking off the last pieces that I need for my legendary or for my meta achievement rather. So that's all sorted. And now we're just waiting for, we've got a airstorm I believe in Thaldraszus, but that's not the one that I need right now. I'm just waiting for elemental storms. And I guess one more daily. That'll be good to get done. Hopefully that's up tomorrow, but we can take as many days as we need, I guess. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna leave her here. And I'm pretty sure that was the last thing I needed to do on retail before logging over to Remix. I think that is the case. Hazel, not going anywhere so I can actually watch the whole stream. Imagine. Wow. Chekhov's list. I think I get it. I might just be tired. So we're gonna kill this. I was gonna show you guys the cat, but she's laid down. Too far down. Log out of that, and I'm gonna hop over to the PTR. See if I can learn anything new. You said you were gonna check something off the list. Yeah. Playing the new RimWorld DLC. Nice. Mentioned no add-ons in Remix. I was mistaken. I was just confused, I think. You are correct, which is good because I really want Plater. I don't know if I want it badly enough to install it now for PTR's sake, but I am relieved that when this all comes out, I will be able to at the very least have my Plater nameplates, because I really, really hate using default nameplates. I don't like them at all. Been spamming keys again. Healing. The manifested time is hideous. Need my add-ons. Yeah, so a lot of what I said yesterday we can disregard as not. Well, I guess anything I said about add-ons. I was thinking things like, man, I get to experiment with all these different gems because I'll never find out whether or not they're good because I won't have meters. And I guess I could still willfully not have meters, but everybody else will have meters, or anybody else who wants to will have them. So they'll still see my sins. Sound a little low. There we go. So, one of the things that I didn't end up having time for yesterday that I kind of wanted to try was doing a heroic dungeon, because we did a normal one yesterday. That Skullmance that we did where I was dying the whole time was normal. We can queue up for a heroic and see how that goes. I'm currently level 16. We should unlock some more stuff at level 20. I also, just at the end of the stream, I opened up a bunch of boxes. And by the end of the stream, I mean after the stream ended. I opened a bunch of boxes that I had in my bags, and one of them contained a helmet with a meta gem socket, and then I also had a meta gem. So I've socketed this Locus of Power meta gem which has given me a new active spell. Channel Arcane Power for 4 seconds, and then it basically buffs you and 2 allies with haste, crit, and mastery. So it's like a buff that we can use. I wonder why. Hang on, let me load up a mouse. 30-second buff with haste, crit, and mastery for you and 2 allies within X amount of yards. Kind of cool. Once it got played, or can't deal with not having it. I just find the readability on the default frames to be very bad. They're too heavily shaded. The bar itself is like... There's so much around the bar itself. Pardon me, what am I trying to say? There's the outline and the shading I find to be so distracting from the contents of the bar. Not that I can't read it, but just that it's uncomfortable. And then the text is a nightmare because it's like color. It matches the color of the default name text matches the color of the hostility of the mob. So it'll be yellow on neutral, green on a friendly mob, and it'll be red. And it doesn't change, or like... That's just not very readable. You need, like, any other add-on is going to, generally speaking, use white text. And that is much nicer. And then the font's not doing it any favors. This PTR, we're currently testing Mists of Pandaria Remix. Didn't they want to remake that in Dragonflight? I think someone said in, like, a tweet that it was still on the list, but it must be really, difficult to do because they haven't done it yet, and it's awful. It's the last thing that I find to be really dated and uncomfy about the default UI. The rest of it I find to be great. They've made huge improvements. Tarsus, come back. I've lost my hunter pin here. They've made huge improvements. Oh, I see. So there's my pet. Infinite Power 1. So I got 40 threads, which gives you an achievement. It adds a appearance to your appearance collection. And it also, I believe, now means that any other characters that I make on this on Remix will have my first 40 threads, including 5% XP gain. So I guess I'll do this little quest before I guess I could queue. I was gonna queue for a heroic. I still feel like I don't have very many. I guess I can use a few more things. Let's get a kick. That's important. And then let's maybe do barbed shot. I've ended up in combat with what? Kick and then nice little barbed shot. That will help. So I'll put the kick there. Barbed shot can go there. Fine. Okay, and then maybe we can queue up for a random heroic dungeon. I'm scared to queue up for another scenario because it wasn't working for me last time, but you never know. Excited about the Hunter Stables. Happy Saturday, Hazel. Mop Remix going well. Happy Saturday, Twigbot. Yeah, I'm happy with it so far. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The thing that I guess I'm most nervous about is that there's just so much to get. There's so much stuff that you can get on the vendors that it seems like, especially if I get all the things installed, and it's like, hey, you're gonna need to earn like 5 million bronze to buy all this or whatever it is, because there's like some pretty high expensive amounts in there that it's just I'm gonna need to play like a collector wanting to 100% this, especially if they wanted to catch up on all the mop collectibles that they didn't have and they were missing things like transmog. 100%ing the collectibles seems like it could take an egregious amount of time. Not that you get the stuff super slowly or anything like that, but it's just there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of rewards that you can get. So I'm a little... nervous isn't the right word, but it seems like it's going to be a big project. I think this could end up taking a lot more time out of me than Plunderstorm did in order to get the available rewards. Yeah, you make a new character to play Remix with. This is just PTR testing, so this isn't a character I'm going to keep. This is just for testing. But when Remix comes out, you'll make a new Remix character, and at the end of the event, it'll get converted into a standard retail character. Boxes. Anything good? Another thread, bronze. Brilliance is a Tinker gem. Party members within 40 yards recuperate 2% of their class resource every 3 seconds. One thing that I haven't accounted for in this pacing conversation, though, is that later on... Oh, interesting. I wonder why that thread didn't auto-weave. So far, I thought they had been. Soulbound. Weave the thread into your cloak, permanently increasing your leech by 1. I wonder why it didn't just happen. I thought those automatically applied. They have been, previously. As you continue to level and do content, you're going to get stronger and stronger, so you're going to be able to, get through stuff faster, you're going to be able to get through harder stuff, which presumably gives you more of everything. See, I don't think you can judge how much bronze you're going to be able to make by, like, your first day in testing, because it's going to accelerate over time. Presumably. Lisa Glaze, thank you very much for the 12-month resub. Happy 1 year, very much appreciated. Yeah, you can use your mounts. And they're regular Dragonflight talent trees. That's correct. I will need ATT and Kenai Maga. So much stuff I want. Yes, you get to keep the character after hitting 70. You won't be able to play with it on Dragonflight servers until time running ends. Until Remix ends, from the sounds of it. But when the event ends, the characters that you have will convert over into standard ones. Test server is free for anybody. That's true. Join your regular guild with a time running character as long as you're on that guild server. It's not separate servers. You make time running characters on standard existing servers. So you can make it on your regular server, you could pick a different server, but you can find a local server and do that. Imagine if you only ever made as much gold as you do at level 1. Bronze probably ramps up somewhat. Have a great day, Saga. Have fun at D&D. Do you know when the event is going to be live? We don't know that yet. It's part of 10.2.7. It may or may not release right at the top of 10.2.7, but we don't know when 10.2.7 is yet. It's just in testing right now. I wouldn't expect it to be a super long wait, though. I think it would probably be in a shorter time frame than you would expect, just based on how quickly they've been able to turn this stuff out, and the fact that it seems to be pretty functional. Sure, it's still a little bit unstable, and I'm sure they're working on it, but by and large, like, the functional pieces are all in already. Like, this is a pretty complete state of the event as far as I can see. I need Beast Cleave. Beast Cleave will be nice for dungeons. What does our dungeon queue time look like? 23 minutes. This is DPS PTR queue set, is true. Hello folks, bye Saga. Bye Wolfblood. There'll be a lot of people doing this. I worry about mob respawn times. I think it'll be really popular, but I have a lot of faith in Blizzard's ability to divide up zones as needed to account for huge populations. The last time I remember having big issues with that kind of thing was Classic. The beginning of Hardcore Classic was kind of nuts. But the in retail, they've had that scienced out for a while, I think. Is it for real that there's plus 30 mounts? Yeah, they're at, like, new ones. That doesn't even count the ones that were previously available in MoP that you could get off of a vendor for your currency in here. Those are new mounts that were not previously available to players. Yeah, there's a crazy amount of stuff. There's new mounts, there's new transmog, but there's also all of the stuff that you could get from MoP on retail. You can also get it here as well. They said that you'll be able to earn achievements on time running realms the same way, like you'll be able to work towards and earn achievements the same way that you would in a regular realm. So I would assume that for the sake of Lore Master, you're all good. I don't know about heritage armor, but that is a good question. Where do all the mounts come from? Meta achievements and then the vendor generally. So in your achievement window, you've got this Pandaria Remix section, and it's filled with different meta achievements that you can do that offer different things. Some of them are transmogs, some of them are hats, some of them are toys, some of them are mounts. At least the basic one. There's a reach level 20 with a time runner. Get an August Phoenix mount. But a lot of them are on the vendor. There's a vendor that just sells, like, most of them in exchange for bronze, which is the currency you get from doing everything in time running. Gonna be huge for my mat collecting achievements. Scroll battle shout. It's kind of fun though. It's like a faster paced thing because you're not really slowing down to like go fishing or go cooking. We don't have professions. We don't have auction house. We don't have like crafting. We don't have heirlooms. It's its own kind of gearing system. I am still kind of struggling a little bit with getting caught up with coming to grips with the loot that you do get and when it is worth putting on an upgrade. Oh, 10 anonymous gift subs. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Surely those cages are pretty easy to get out of. I need more keys, apparently. Whoops. So bad. So I got a meta gem for Funeral Pyre. Grants the caster agi for 1 minute every 1 second. Gain a stack. Suffering fire damage per stack. It'll be removed early if reactivated. Oh. I don't think I'm going to pop that in just yet, although I have been completely forgetting to use my Locus of Power. Our dungeon queue popped for our heroic dungeon, so hopefully that works out. Hopefully that comes through. I did see the Datamine Summer Collection. Can't wait to use short shorts in every single character. Alright, so we're back in the same dungeon we did last time. Okay. And this is on heroic. So I'm gonna use the buff to buff a few of us. RTS Planner, thank you for the 45-month resub. How much bronze do you get from just leveling? I'm currently sitting on 1,000 bronze. I am level 17, up from 10, and I have been playing. I have a slash played of 2 hours and 1 minute. That is all the data that I have, though. we were theorizing that the numbers will go up over time. Because you'll be able to do, like, I'm assuming you're going to get much more bronze from doing, like, a raid. Harder level content should give you harder or more levels of stuff. After this dungeon, we can kind of clean up the bags. I don't really want to jump off. My pet's gonna... I didn't dismiss it, though. Whoops, daisy. I have Door of Shadows as well. I need to remember that. And thanks it. That's what I was finding in the normal one as well, is tanks would do pulls like they're used to doing on, like, in a retail leveling dungeon, and they'll just fall over. Didn't know to happen. Is there PvP? Not that I've seen yet, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Oh man, I think my rune broke them out. I wonder if we should finish off the card, actually. I had my pet taunt the NPC. Yeah, I mean, we pulled the boss with trash. I think that's probably part of it. This is a heroic dungeon, so it's kind of interesting to see the concept of doing a heroic dungeon while leveling and having that be different from doing a normal dungeon while leveling, because you still don't have all of your abilities. Some people, like, you could have done this at level, like, 12. You would have, you know, you wouldn't even have, like, your interrupt yet. Yes, you can do Pandaria Remix on classes and races released after MOP. It uses Dragonflight characters, models, class design. Alright, well. We're gonna maybe res my pet. Pet utility. Revive pet. Okay. Look at us. We're doing the trash first. Imagine that. Decided to wait until Remix goes live before playing, but my goodness, this is tempting. Tried some dungeons as a rester druid yesterday. Felt hard. Not sure if overtuned or if we're just used to face rolling dungeons. Yeah, it's kind of tough as well because I think that the more you level, I wonder if they've tuned it around, like, pretty decent use of the various, like, meta gems and powers and stuff, and if you're not remembering the tank's dead again. If you're not remembering to use the new stuff that you've been getting, you might be at a disadvantage. It's hard to say what they've accounted for. I'm assuming that the longer this is out, the more people will kind of get a hang for, like, these are, like, S-tier meta gems. Socket these ones as soon as you get them, and then, like, the content will kind of get easier as the community knowledge goes up. They may have tuned to some degree with that in mind. But I'm just saying stuff. I don't know anything. What is happening to this tank? Violence. Abject violence. Some of the Tinker Gems do damage, really bad for tanks. I noticed there was a meta gem that I looted that was gonna kill me, like, or not kill me, but was gonna do damage to me. It was a self buff that gave me main stat, but also hurt me. And I thought that was kind of funny. So the tank is left. I wonder, well, this is good data to have about heroic dungeons. I'm not running any add-ons, so I don't currently know, how much damage I'm like. I don't know if my damage is keeping up or behind. I have a proc for my gem, which is the fire barrage thing that happens sometimes. Oh, it's so close to being dead too. Oh, it was so close! We got a new tank. That's fun. No, retail abilities. It's not a classic era, so we're not playing in like the mob version of classes. We're using Dragonflight characters to play through mob stuff. This is a heroic dungeon. I've queued into a harder one, which is part of what's going on here, but it is interesting to see it be like actually challenging. This is a new tank. The last tank left. They're gone. Okay. Alright, so the new tank has chosen to... how did we not get that risen guard? Did they respawn or what? My locus of... Oh, dear me. Whoops. People are so used to being able to just pull trash with the bosses, but even without that, I don't know, man. So this tank is level 11. I wonder if part of it is that while you can queue for a heroic dungeon very early, perhaps it's not advisable to do that. You're not going to have all your, like, very many talent points. You're going to be missing pretty core utility. Although we are getting it together now, albeit without our tank. It could be tuning. That's entirely possible. Quite sure it's the same tank. It's like really not. I can scroll up in chat and check. The first tank was Korean. There we go. NGB res. So there's no professions at all. Nobody has any professions. Yeah, there's feedback threads running on the PTR forums. I'm sure people are giving feedback on tuning. Although it looks like we're getting this together even without our tank. So, you know, that means something. This was a lich, this is a phylactery. Exactly. Alright, well, one boss down. What do we get? Bonus experience. I got some blue quality shoulders. I didn't have any shoulders before. So that gives me another Tinker socket, which is pretty sweet. Can I search and filter down to just my Tinker gems? I can. I think I'm gonna maybe throw Lightning Rod in there. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but that's the one I'm gonna try for now. It seems like a good idea. You start with just a couple of greens. You get 2 pieces that you can socket initially, but you can get more loot from all of the normal places you would expect loot. As your cloak goes up in power, the dungeons will basically nerf themselves, so the tuning makes sense. Add-on that shows the currency at the bottom of your bag. I'm not running any add-ons right now. That is default UI. You can go ahead and track and untrack it with the show on backpack in the currency tab, but this is the only currency that is in that is in Remix, and that tracking was enabled for me by default. But you can do that in retail. I used to do that all the time for like tracking my my mysterious fragments from archives, or there was another one I was doing before that, the Sword Army one, Paracausal Flakes. Yeah, kind of handy. Okay, and they're dead. Yeah, it seems like maybe it seems like the I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe the move is to get some power before you do heroic dungeons. Get some more cloak levels, get some more gems, get better gems to help you get through them, because the normal dungeon was kind of spicy, but it was manageable. Like, we wiped a few times, but we managed to get it together. Yeah, you can. There's a gear upgrader just like we have in retail, but you can use your bronze to upgrade your gear basically all of the way. But you can also loot gear that is higher level, and the thing to think about is that you might not want to invest all of your bronze, or any amount of your bronze, into getting your starter gear upgraded all the way to endgame level, because you will get more gear with maybe more sockets later. Like, there's gear that has more than one socket. There's gear that has like other stats on it, more stats on it in addition to the sockets. So you might not want to be stuck with like a fully upgraded Wind Reaver's gauntlets if you can get something better on later. These things track, apparently. Been annoying that you can only track 3 currencies if you don't unite the bags into one. Yeah, it's a spicy dungeon. I don't know if we'll get any more done, but we can hang out for a bit and try. You want to stick this out? I am ambivalent. I'm not ready to leave yet. I'll leave when I'm ready to leave. Fear not. I'm on it. I'm kind of enjoying watching people melt. Item upgrade system is you take your item to the upgrader, you pay bronze, and it upgrades. The upgrade levels go all the way to the top. I think I am gonna leave now. I mean, there's no repair fees, which is nice. But yeah, it does seem like, yeah, everybody's... People are out. Yeah, there's no repair fees. There is an upgrader. There's an upgrader up at the monastery. Let me just finish the last quest or two over here. And then I saved myself some teleports to get back to the bazaar, so we can do that. We can also dragon ride there. That's one good thing to remember, is that you can kind of dragon ride very early. You can get around. Got a key, huh? Good effort, good effort. Someone who tanked your mop, I do remember having to kite. There we go. See, that's what's supposed to happen with the Thread of Leech, is you're supposed to loot it, and then it, like, happens to your cloak. I wonder why that one that I looted didn't go through. That must be a bug. There doesn't seem to be any mechanic for doing it manually. It was WoW science. World mobs seem fine. World questing mobs seem reasonable. They're not, like... They do more than nothing, but they're not popping people the way that heroic dungeon was. Yeah, there is gold. The only thing I've found so far that uses it is flight paths. There may be more things that use it, but actual standard gold seems to be kind of defunct. Oh, transmog. That's a good point. I haven't transmogged at all. Expedition Yak. And it does seem to be pretty free. stuck. I don't know what I want to wear. There we go. Expeditionary longbow. Problem solved. I did not play off screen, no. A lot of good memories from Mop, but I don't know if I want to relive this with my warrior. Try it with something else. I expect that I'm going to end up doing a couple of characters. It's just a question of what I end up. I'll probably, when it comes out on live, do a priest first. And then maybe a hunter? Like, doing multiple characters in Remix, seems pretty reasonable because your cloak upgrades, as you get into certain thresholds, become account-wide. So your second character is going to have a faster start than your first one did, depending on how far you got your first one. So yeah, I could use it as a chance to level like a class that I don't have yet. I could level a mage. I was thinking about it though. It's like, what if I don't have a mage because I don't want a mage? Yeah, you can transmog anything. It's kind of nice. And we have access to our same appearance collections. So same mount, same pet, same transmog collection that you would have on retail. The main thing is you can't just slap on leveling heirlooms. You gotta use the Remix gear that they give you. Which you want to use anyways, because it's got all those fun gem slots on it. Well, I'm glad I got a pair of blue shoulders before that dungeon evaporated. That was kind of cool. Alright, can we organize this stuff? Let's maybe dissolve a few things for bronze. Stampede and Roar. That's a cogwheel gem, gives you Stampede and Roar. That's kind of fun. So, pull up the sands, and then I can get rid of staff, extra shoulders, extra gloves. The staff is an item level upgrade, but I'm not survival, so it doesn't matter. And extra shoulders. And that's gonna zap them all into bronze for you. What was I gonna check out at the vendors? Oh, it was just the item upgrading. I think that's all it was. You aren't interested by mages. I guess not. And I don't know why I'm singling them out, because there's other classes that aren't really my thing, but I still have one. Demon Hunters, Death Knights. I was gonna say monks, but I think I actually do need a monk. That's what Molly Wobble the Maw Walker Mistweaver was supposed to be for. Want to know if I level an ally to 70 will unlock Heritage Armor if you do it through Remix, but I can't level to 70 in one more day. I'm only 24 now. Yeah, it seems like something that you can't just like no life in a day. Not interested in warlocks? Can't get into them. The main thing that it would be a problem for is just collecting like the mage mount. But you know, I don't really need the mage mount if I don't have a mage. I would need it for like overall mount count, but that's mostly just a vanity statistic because my mount count is very much fine for the purpose of meta achievements. Like I have all the mount metas, and I'm sure I have a bit of a head start at whatever future mount metas that they come out with. We're in good shape there, I think. It's just a lame disc anyway. I like Remix a lot so far. It's pretty fun. I'm really looking forward to playing it whenever it comes out live. This should keep me real busy for a while. Shall I try queuing for a scenario, maybe? It broke for me yesterday. I didn't get to do it, but I think it's probably worth another try. That's Dungeon Finder. It can be random, time-running scenario. There's also heroic scenarios, but after the kerfuffle that the heroic dungeon was, I don't think I want to do a heroic scenario. That sounds dangerous. Not replacing Plunderstorm in the login screen. Separate event. Things have been changing for me a lot the more alts I make. Prefer Vengeance Demon Hunter over any Warlock, which is weird for me. Morning, Miss Haley. Morning, Jack. Okay. Well, let's pick up the flight path. I'm telling you, that scenario queue is going to pop, and then I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not wearing a belt. There we go. And a new Tinker gem socket. So I'm glad that the bag filtering seems to work for that. Party members within 40 yards recuperate 2% of their class resource. Major class cooldown. Overload. Sling enemy because you drew up. Fire damage and horrify for 3 seconds. I think I'm just going to throw Incendiary Terror in there. It seems like a pretty straightforward thing to use. Alright, hopefully it lets me do this. Last time it just kicked me out a bunch of times. I'm gonna let this in, I'm gonna let the cutscene play because last time I skipped the cutscene and then it kicked me out. So maybe letting it run will be good. Just wish they'd added Corcoran Wolf to the vendor as well. It's just such a long cutscene. Hazel in chat. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Harry. I hope you're doing well. There were more, right? Alright. So far, so good. Oh. I wonder why. They're both in the scenario. Is it because I'm a Void Elf? It's going to do the exact same thing. I thought maybe it was the mount. But. So you're on the boat. And nope. Happened to Mr. GM yesterday too. Happened to me this morning. Yeah. Alright. Well, that's annoying. I'm just going to leave. I'm gonna give them a chance to get another player. That's the only scenario that it's put me in, but I have deserters, so I can't keep for anything for 30 minutes. Oh, dear me. Well, there's some more quests I could do up there. That's the campaign up there. Let's go back to the bazaar and talk to that NPC for that Infinite Growth quest line. I bought a couple of Noswin's vouchers, so I have some teleports back. I bug reported it yesterday. It's just the same thing happening again. Why are you leveling a Void Elf? I thought you said they looked like bugs. That's why I named him Ventriculus. I didn't say it was a bad thing. Okay, so we got this one. If you bring me sufficient bronze, I'll empower your equipment. And, alright, so this is the item upgrader. That quest was kind of leading you into it. And this is item upgrading. So you can slam any item, any of your time walking items in, time running items, so basically any of your stuff. And there are 36 upgrade levels, the maximum of which gives you item level 556. So you could upgrade your starter gear the whole way. It would be obscenely expensive in order to do such a thing, and you're going to get more gear of a higher item level as you go, so I don't really recommend it. If you get like a really good piece of gear though, like something that has multiple sockets, something that's got great stats that you really like, you could then upgrade that to keep it up to date so you don't have to replace it for like a higher item level green with not as many stats. But yeah, for the most part, I think it's just if like one slot really falls behind and you feel like you really need to catch something up, you can use your bronze to upgrade your gear directly. How do you grind the currency? We need to buy cosmetics? Everything. You get it from dungeons, you get it from raids, you get it from mobs, you get it from quests, you get it from chests, you get it from rares. I'm assuming if there's rares. You get it from anything, basically anything that you're doing. Did a scenario with my Mechanome yesterday. It was fine. Data point. Good idea to not upgrade gear, save it for the mounts. I'm sure lots of people are going to be doing that. I'm going to kind of play it by ear, but I'm definitely not. There's just so many, there's so many things that you can buy. I'm not in a big hurry to spend a bunch of it. Like for the amount that it would take to get one base level gear to up to the maximum item level, you could buy like all of these mounts that are 2,200 each probably. I haven't run the numbers, but there's a lot of them. The mounts that you get are unlock on Dragonflight, exactly. Yeah. Saw some calculation to get everything well over 1 million bronze. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can buy. A good amount of it is new. Some of it is not new. So if you already had transmog, if you already had transmog from existing mob collected, or you didn't mind collecting it the old-fashioned way, there's plenty of stuff that you could just not worry about. Same thing with like the old mounts and whatnot. Like you could buy a Son of Galleon on the vendor for bronze, but you could also farm it and retail off of actual Galleon. The realm first achievements apparently are a bug. So I guess I'm not doing any instances for another half an hour, so that's something. I suppose we can just carry on with the standard quest. I'm almost, once we get to level 20, I believe we get a mount. But yeah, I'm sure when I'm playing it, I'm going to want to get all of the new mounts and pets and toys and cosmetics, and then as best as I can after that, I think my priority is going to be to fill out as many of the cosmetics from before, like the existing sets that are available on the vendor. I have all the mounts, thankfully. I have all of the old mounts already, so that saves some bronze for me, but there's gonna be lots of stuff that I could buy. Buying the open world bosses? I don't want to do that grind. Totally fair. Like it if we got to do Plunder Storm and the expansions in remix form as a cycling thing. Yeah, I think if it works out well and it's off to a good start, they've got a good framework here for some kind of on-call content for whenever they need to fill a bit of a gap. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm also excited to get a chance to do mop raids with lots of other people at level in a format that I'm excited about that's not regular time walking. Oh, because I didn't do them back then. And for whatever reason, whenever they do like a normal time walking raid on retail, I could not be less interested. But this, even though it has a lot of similarities to doing a regular time walking raid on retail, you know, you're using like modern class design. This seems more fun to me. How long do you think it should last? I don't know. I don't know. I would be fine with the same 6-week figure they're using for Plunder Storm, but I don't know. I wonder if it's going to overlap with things like Season 4. I'm going to have to ration out my time. 6 weeks is too short? Well, then longer. And things to buy with bronze is insane. Hope it lasts till War Within. War Within Alpha soon. Depends on how you spend the 6 weeks, yeah. Tell me you can't use add-ons, starting to hit add-ons. You can use add-ons. I yesterday mistakenly believed that you could not, but you totally can. You don't have to, but you are able to. Sorry. Bad news. Tortoise Flakes, there we go. Love Remix, amazing how much work they put into it. Yeah. This is gonna keep me so busy. This is gonna keep me so busy. How you been, Chance? How are things going with you? Think you can use heirlooms? Oh, I don't think you can use heirlooms. When you go to your collections tab, there's a tab for mounts, pets, toys, appearances. There's no tab for heirlooms. I don't know how on earth you would get them. Wouldn't make much sense, yeah. No release date for War Within. And incidentally, no release date for this either. Not that anybody asked, but just in case it comes up, we don't know when this is going to come out. We don't know how long it'll last. Pretty great. Woke up with a headache, super sleepy, despite getting enough sleep. That's tough. How does leveling feel? It feels good. It feels fun. It feels like no matter what you choose to do, you're still gaining decent progress as you go. Last wins return service. Oh, I see. It would teleport me back to where I was previously. That's cool. I don't actually need it though. I flew myself back here. I suppose I could click that buff off to make that button go away. There you go. Yeah, I haven't tried mailing heirlooms. I would assume it doesn't work, but I haven't tried it myself. Mop Remix uses current day specs and classes, not Mop era, current day. The gear you get with the socket's super strong. Yeah. And you get an experience bonus that you stack up on your cloak as you go. More tortoise flakes. Devoker feels good on PTR. Would I ever do Patreon again? I don't think so, no. The setup that I had on Patreon is now rolled into my YouTube members. So I have tiers of support that people can do monthly on there. that offer a couple of different things. I do a member exclusive video every month for my legendary members. We do Hazel's home videos. Those are fun. Yeah, good content. I'm having a bit of a hard time synthesizing everything because I've just got some other stuff going on that's making it hard to function. So I'm doing my best. But yeah, it's an exciting time in WoW. Oh, thank you very much for the gift subs. I appreciate it. Anonymous gifter, grass to those who picked them up. Hazel, I am sure the reason that they are doing retail versions of classes instead of the MOP versions, Blizzard is scared of Druid Symbiosis ability. I wouldn't blame them. I'm scared of Druid Symbiosis ability, and I had a Druid in MOP. Thanks, Day. That's very sweet. Newsvid is late. Newsvid is late. I had a bit of a banger of a day yesterday, and it's not done yet. Kind of hope they introduce chaotic stuff like that. I like chaotic stuff in the context of these limited time events, or in the context of like the last patch of an expansion. You know, circa what are they called? 8.3 powers that we had, the corruptions. Those were fun. They were broken and they were fun. It was the last patch of the expansion. But when it's something that you're supposed to like raid with all expansion along, it gets less fun because then the min-maxiness takes all the fun out of it, and then you have to do it like the right way or whatever. Whereas if it's just something like, I'm not too fussed about how closely balanced the Tinker Gems are in this, for example, because it's like, you know, it's not regular retail WoW. It's not a long, it's not going to impact us for long. War Within Collector's Edition releases in 3 days. Excited to see new collectibles. Hope they do this for more expansions. I want to re-experience the sheer dread that was unnerved Shadowlands can evoke. Oh, man. If we were going to guess, assume this goes well, just hypothetically, assume this goes well and assume that they want to do it again in the future. In order, what do you think are the next 3 expansions that they would remix after this one? I'll also guess. I think Shadowlands would be quite late just because it was fairly recent and it wasn't that popular. I think number 1 would be Wrath. I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna guess for myself before I read your responses, but feel free to drop them in. My number 1 next one would probably be Wrath. Everybody loves Wrath. Wrath is very cinematic. I know that we have Wrath Classic, which I guess maybe some people are overexposed on it, but there's plenty of people that like Remix that didn't do Classic at all. After Wrath Remix, maybe would you do Wrath is an easy one. I'm trying to think. I think WoD and Kata, I think, are my next 2 pick in indeterminate order. I wonder if TBC would be one of them, actually. I don't know. I think that the more modern expansions lend themselves to replay a little bit better. The questing in TBC is a little rough. I think Wrath is as early as I would want to see it. Yeah, I would do Wrath and then Kata and then WoD, I think. But I think I'm favoring the older ones because it's been longer since we've had them. What did you guys say? Oh, Legion! I 100% think Legion's next. I completely forgot about Legion. WoD with changes would be sick. Oh my gosh, everybody's saying Legion. I didn't even think of that. Think they're gonna do WoD and then Legion. Don't think they would overlap with Classic. Legion next, for sure. Wrath, Legion, WoD. Character can unlock any armor type transmog. Sure, I'll play it. But you love Legion. What is this thing that I can't loot? It's a tuft of yak fur. It summons a rideable rampaging yak, a very, very fast mount, 3 charges, so fluffy. I guess I already have one in my bags. Oh yeah, there you go. Does it run stuff over? Not really. Weird. So we're just killing General Hosen for the last relic. That's a regular Pandaria achievement. There we go. My dad works at Blizzard, and it's Legion. Why would they skip WoD? WoD replay would be a bit interesting because WoD was so garrison-based. The actual outdoor questing, there was good outdoor questing, but a lot of it was kind of overshadowed by, like, I don't know, chopping down trees to get your lumber mill up to date. And a lot of it was very, like, time-gated and systems-heavy early. And I wonder if if they would have to just like drop big parts of it, because the whole expansion was so tied to that. If you haven't done so yet, you can use the toy to unlock Pandaria flight paths, a bunch of bronze from the exploration achievements. So my scouting map wasn't in my toy box. I wonder if it's just because I haven't, maybe I bought it after I copied my PTR data, but I don't happen to have it right now. That's a good tip, though. The first player campaign experience in WoD was amazing. Super captivating. Had to copy my data over again. Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. I just haven't gotten around to it. How much bronze are you up to? 1318. 1,318 currently. Mind you, we haven't successfully done any kind of group content today. We queued for the heroic dungeon that was a mess that we had to leave, and then we queued for a scenario that it once again would not let me into. But yeah, I would like to see them do a Wrath, but mainly that's because I haven't interacted with Wrath Classic. I wonder if oh, I don't know. Never mind. I love that phase. Where did that Manic Grief Torch animation come from? I have a Tinker Gem. I have a few of them, but one of them is Explosive Barrage. Abilities have a chance to launch a barrage of fire at enemies, deals damage, knocks them up. Kinda cool. In one more hour, we'll get a new batch of storms on retail. We can keep an eye out for elemental storms that we need. Here, I'll show you how to copy data. I need to do it anyway. Let's just see what we get here. I got Heroic Leap. Should I use that? Heroic Leap is a cogwheel gem. So it would fit my... Not my helmet. I forget which sockets are which. It's a prismatic. Oh, cogwheel gem could go in boots. Oh yeah, let's replace Door Shadows. I don't use Door Shadows. Slot requires cogwheel. Let's pull our gem out. And we can socket a new one in. I believe you can also use your Sands of Time to dissolve extra gems that you don't need. That's kind of fun. Yeah, you get more bronze as you level up. Outdoor mobs is not your primary source of it. You're gonna get it from other stuff as well. Like any kind of gear that you get that you can dissolve is gonna dissolve into a bunch of bronze. I hope that continues to be the case because I don't want outdoor grinding to be the #1 source of bronze. Like, that sounds kind of brutal. Only missing Theltraz's Firestorm. You cannot use your main character in here. You must make new characters to play in Remix. You must start a time-running character. Got one of the storms done with 50 seconds left to spare. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to witness this. I do want to log out at a certain point and show the account data copy. We're not copying characters. We're just trying to copy account data to refresh things like toys. This looks so fun, can't wait. Leveling experience, but like, I wouldn't say really fast from the get-go. It's gonna get faster the longer you play because as you play, you loot threads that get woven into your Time Runner cloak that is going to give it a buff, including a plus experience gain buff. So now I have a 5% XP gain buff, and that's going to continue to grow as you continue to play and loot stuff. Okay. Log out for a second. Blizzard has a grip on me with these seasonal fast-paced events. They said you'll be able to join your normal guilds, so I'm assuming you'll be able to join guilds cross-faction because that should work the same way as it does in Dragonflight. Everyone can get Leap of Faith with gems. This is gonna be a grief fest. Alright, so to copy account data on the PTR, this is just a PTR thing, you're not going to need to worry about this for actual remix, but if you're trying to copy like your mounts, pets, toys, and PTR, you go to character copy, and you don't need to necessarily like copy a character, you just copy account data, and that should copy live account data to test account to kind of update it. It doesn't happen automatically, you have to manually trigger it like this. So now I should have the mounts that have dropped for me more recently on retail available to use here, as well as more toys. Yeah. So let's use the scouting map toy. Oh yeah, there you go. And it does give you caches for exploration, that's true. I wonder if that's going to make it to live, because to the live version of Remix, because you get 200 bronze for exploring, and I wonder if they're going to want you to do it in Remix, or if they're okay with you using that toy. What else is coming in 10.2.7 besides Mop Remix? Heritage armor for Draenei and Darkspear Trolls. Season 4 is in there somewhere. Listen to Rel's report. Oh yeah, these quests. That's right. I suppose I will end up doing this again, won't I? Toy feels OP if you get stuff from it. Yeah, it seems a bit much. I wonder if they'll leave that or not. I hate these quests. I always skip them. I always skip them whenever I get to this point in modern day. If I'm leveling through mob, I get to this point and then I go, all right, time for Valley of the Four Winds. See ya. Don't get me wrong, the story is cute, but there's like a bunch of these quests and it's all just like vehicle combat with just a couple of buttons. They're not hard, they're just tedious. What level am I? I'm 18 still. I could also certainly leave and move on to a different area. However, when I'm doing this on live, I may want to do some of the achievements. Finishing various storylines. There's bronze caches that you get for doing these meta achievements. And there's also meta achievements. There's a Jade Forest one. You only need to do 2 of the 4 things. So one of them is to get exalted with the Order of the Cloud Serpent. One of them is to, let's see, Jade Forest. Exalted with Cloud Serpent. LFG Jade Forest has you complete the 3 dungeons, Greenstone Village, Brewing Storm, and Temple of the Jade Serpent. I believe some of those are scenarios. Yeah, they're group activities, so you would need to do a few scenarios. A third thing that you could do as an option is tour the Jade Forest, recover treasures, defeat rares, and reveal the covered areas of the Jade Forest with a time runner. It looks like the exploration did not fully, even though I used the toy just now, that didn't check off everything, so you would need to do some exploration on your own. And then also do some treasures and everything. And then the first one on the list was campaign. Completing the whole campaign storyline with a time runner, which apparently I have not even done the first section of. Listen to Rel's report. Also, I wonder if I missed a mob I was supposed to be fighting. I've got some DPS buttons. Maybe I need to talk to somebody to start the thing. There we go. Does anyone like vehicle combat? I'm sure somebody likes it if for no other reason than to be contrarian. Yeah, Path of Ascension I think was the best version of it. Even that, I don't know if I would say it was I don't know if it was my favorite. We managed. We got through it. You will not be able to get Challenge Mode gear in Remix. They have confirmed that Challenge Mode gear, Corcoran Werewolf, and heirlooms from Siege of Orgrimmar are not going to be available. Anything that you can get nowadays in Mop, they said is kind of fair game, although a notable exception is people have been talking about the tusks of Manoroth. I haven't seen them on a vendor, even though they are something that you could get nowadays back in Mop. I haven't seen them put tusks on the vendor yet, so that one's kind of up in the air. Heard you get jewelry and trinkets from those metas. The worst vehicle combat is when you have to aim at flying stuff. Can't work out where I need to aim. Like the Malagos fight with the dragons. Everybody used to leave the Malagos fight with it. No, I'm thinking of the dungeon one. There was the raid one as well. It happened twice. They loved the idea so much they did it more than once. I have the tusk in the garage mount, just need the transmog sets from the raid. I think I can just leave because the quest is done. Yeah. There we go, we leveled up. 19. We got flare. Look at that, Looney. Capture treasures. Okay, I have triplicates of some of these gems now, so I can right-click them to create a more powerful gem. I should probably do that and then like equip some of them. So that one's haste, that one's leech, that's health regen. But I'm sure, so that's a plus crit. I have a regular plus leech, we can unsocket that and then put in our plus leech. 7 leech from there. What about this one? That's heroic leap. That is a tinker slot? Yeah, that's a tinker slot. I think over time we'll kind of get used to which ones have which things. But the prismatic gems at least seems can be swapped. Would love it if they would also include old recipes since I collect recipes. Do you think some classes might not be able to solo all of the achievements like non-hybrid ones? I wouldn't expect that to be the case, because the achievements aren't really very soloing things based. A lot of them require group content, and the things that you would need to solo would just be like, you wouldn't even need to solo it. Like if you need to kill a rare for an achievement, you could group up. This is an early look at it, and anybody can play. It's public testing realm, PTR. Guess you finally earned the Vicious Moonbees mount from PvP. It was me. Congratulations, Elrathier. That's fantastic. Draenei Heritage Armor coming soon. I missed so much news. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Scope the Southeastern Shrine. Okay. So they want me to... go uphill. That's right. This confuses me every time I do it, and it's been the same forever. So happy now, my favorite mount. I haven't cleared any heroic raids yet, so I'm not sure what you get from them. I'm assuming better gear, higher level gems, more bronze, that kind of thing. After years, got my blazing drake from Dragonsoul. Good riddance. Congratulations. Oh, my poor friend over here is kind of hurting. Wish the PTR event was longer. I think that having it be really short is a good way to get some nice, concise testing data. Like lots of people will be playing for basically the whole thing because it's so short. So they'll get. It's almost kind of like the FOMO effect, getting people to play in a big group of people. I think after a certain point there may have been some trailing off, and you don't want to burn people out too before it comes out. I might have to start this quest over again. I don't think I'm doing a very good job. Yeah. Not such a good job. Oh dear. Try it again. Rip Sully. Max, who did a 16-hour stream because he was so invested. Yeah, this is PTR. Maybe there's a better use of my today time. When Remix comes out, I imagine I'm going to redo these because the questing achievements seem like something I might want to do for the meta achievements. I would rather replay the campaign than I would, you know, like, I would rather do that than grind Order of the Cloud Serpent to Exalted. But for now, for the sake of testing, it's not like I'm getting the achievements finished or anything like that. I could probably find someplace else to quest. Love the Troll Heritage Armor, except the headpiece. It looks weird. Oh. I think the face piece is my favorite part. I think that's the thing that I like best about it. Considering rescheduling my evening plans to play instead. If you have those achieves on Dragonflight, is it worth doing them here? So there's Remix specific achievements where you will earn things in Remix for doing them. And that doesn't count previous, like, having done it on retail won't matter for this. It's for doing it on a Time Runner character. So you might want to if the rewards for the meta achievements are appealing to you. And if you're grinding bronze, it might be not a bad thing to look at because you get caches of bronze for doing these things. What raid dungeon map do you plan to start farming next? I don't know yet. I haven't like committed to something. I was vaguely keeping a character at Karakta. I had a few characters I moved to Karakta to start camping it, but I don't think my whole heart's even in that. I hope they fix spamming LFR Mogashan vaults for best XP and power. I think that, at least for me, even if that is a strong way to get it, I don't imagine myself doing exclusively that because I'm going to want to be filling out the meta achievements for the different like toys and stuff, like the Kunlai achievement for the hat, the cross rank achievement for the keg, the Valley achievement certainly for the backpack, very important. And then it's nice that you'll be able to get, along the way of doing that, you'll be able to get some bronze caches. I think that'll be enough to keep me busy. I wonder if I'm going to be mainly in outdoor and dungeon content. I want to do the raids for sure, but I don't know if I want to, like, farm them. Oh, and yeah, we're not gonna finish this quest right now. This isn't going very well. I mean, I was almost done. Is it important to me to do it if I'm almost done? A little bit? Not that much. We can find other stuff. Now that I'm level 19, I think I can start Valley at maybe level 20? Let's go out this way and see if we can pick up some quests to work on. Holy rare up. That's kind of nice. Yeah, my hair color does match the zone, that's true. Here's an achievement. Where's the opponent? That's not the mop flying experience. Yeah, getting around is a lot faster with the thing. Ooh, Spirit Walk. Although, who needs Spirit Walk? I have Heroic Leap. Also, I never remember to use Heroic Leap, but we have it. Shaman abilities belong to me. Yoinked my ability. I could probably stand to dissolve a bunch of my extra. Oh, I don't have a pet. Gems into bronze, but I'm not convinced I know thoroughly which ones I should and shouldn't do. So if I... Actually, no, you can't do gems. You can only do gear. But this gear has haste. It's a higher end level, so actually, never mind. I'm going to put these boots on. I'm going to unsocket my gem from those ones so I can put my Heroic Leap into my new boots. I thought for some reason you could take gems that you didn't want and then dissolve them, but maybe... Oh no, there shouldn't be a gem in there in the first place. Okay, no, I did put the gem in. It was just a bit funny looking. I did not get bronze for that achievement, no. YOLO it? YOLO what? Oh, I've lost my pet again. I guess I forgot to pull it out. Dead? Dead? My goodness. Very fun to be a paladin with Blink. Looking forward to playing this again when it comes to live server. Yeah, there's all kinds of different like utility buttons from different classes and like from Shadowlands Covenant utility. It's kind of cool to pull it all out. I bet you Soul Shape's in there somewhere. I don't know that for a fact, but utility. Keybind for that apparently. Pet's died a few times now. We don't know when it goes live yet. Twilight Devastation would be really funny. I could see it. I don't know for sure, but I would believe it if I saw it. Wish Warrior Charge was available as utility, but it's not in the list. Heroic Leap, though. It's kind of nice. I'd rather have infinite stars. They won't let me into a... Will they let me into a dungeon? Oh yeah, I guess my cooldown's done. I deserted for a while, but I suppose my half hour of punishment is up. Let's queue not for a scenario because those are a trap, and not for heroic dungeon because those are a trap. We'll queue for a normal dungeon. That I think I'll actually be able to do. Type of hunter pet is that? It's a warp stalker. It's the void elf. It's the void elf default hunter pet that you get. Making a level 10 void elf. Paladins and deacons with charge. Could you imagine? Our scenario's too hard. It keeps kicking me out of them. Both times that I've gotten into a scenario, it has ported me out and then it ultimately disconnected me. It doesn't seem like, for whatever reason, this character is just not working with them. Part of me wants to start a priest to try out healing these dungeons and things. And the other part of me just witnessed how the tanks have been evaporating into dust. And is not in a big hurry to try healing them, especially when I've seen a couple of different tanks being like, please give me heals, when they're like instant popping. Included a blue quality chest from a random mob. Lucky, lucky. What's different than Chromie time? Lots of things. Lots of things. There's remix specific gems. There's remix specific gear. There's a remix specific currency. There's no professions. There's no auction house. You're earning extra powers as you go. That's how they all sound in my head. Yeah, no professions. There's no profession trainers that I've seen on Remix. There's no loot that... There's no reagents that drop either. Like the humanoids, they drop bronze. You're not going to get like cloth. There's no grays. Vendors don't want your stuff. A barbershop? Wonder if they'll add one for this? You can transmog. That's kind of nice. I don't think you can travel outside of Pandaria. I haven't tried to, but I don't imagine you can. Sometimes in Pug, you just gotta plug gold damage, BTW. What is used gold here? Used gold for? Gold is used for flight paths, and nothing else that I've seen. You can play Remix on the PTR. It's currently in testing. It's just for testing, though. You're not going to be able to keep any character or progress that you make on PTR onto your live account, so it's just a preview, and for like bug fixing and whatnot. It'll come out on live servers one day, eventually. Able to use the Pandaria map toy, get a bunch of bronze, which is neat. Yeah! Yeah, a few people have been asking the Heritage Armor question. I don't know. It's a good question. They said you'll be able to work on achievements as normal, but I don't know if Heritage Armor specifically would be excluded from that because of how they want your Heritage Armor characters to be leveled like traditionally. I don't know if this would count or not. Tensions in Raid soloable? Not yet. Maybe later. Maybe with more OP powers than mine. Oh, also, I've just been killing random mobs. I haven't been doing the rest of my quests. Is that not a real fire? Oh yeah, counts. Cash, you're being pretty mean today and it's bumming me out. Please cheer up before one of us cries. Select all classes and races? Yes. Yes, you can. You can do anything that you can make in Dragonflight, including Drakthir. You can be an evoker on Remix if you like. Druids can't change their form aesthetic without a barbershop. Yeah, so it's not separate the way that Plunderstorm is, but it is a bit separate. You make a time-running specific character, but it goes onto your character select screen like your other characters, and it can join a regular guild. I started playing during Wrath of the Lich King. You think it'll dampen excitement for a future Pandaria Classic? I have no idea. It is MOP. It is just MOP. Hope so. I mean, it's scratching my itch for sure, but I barely had an itch to begin with. I haven't really been much of a Classic player. You would have to ask somebody that is pumped for MOP Classic that also has been playing a bunch of this. They would be the person with the info. Hi, kitty cat. How you doing? I feel like the hype for Cata Classic is lacking. It's there from some people. Yeah, some people are very excited for it. I don't know who. I've seen a few people come into stream that are excited for it, and that's great. But yeah, I don't know. Here I am playing retail like a chump. Hello, cat. Fun to one-shot World Quest mobs. Super excited, can't wait. That is next month. Is it Cata Classic? I think I'm choosing just to pretend it's not happening because it's not super relevant to me, and I don't have the extra brain power to make it relevant to me. How does leveling speed feel? It feels fine. It feels basically like leveling on retail. I am currently going 5% faster because of my cloak, which isn't really enough to be super noticeable. But I'm also not questing at like my most breakneck efficient pace or anything like that. Did the first few levels yesterday. The leveling speed felt slower than doing it with heirlooms. Yeah, it's not like sluggish or anything, but it's definitely not super crazy fast at first. Later on, especially like when the event comes out and you've been playing it for a while, you're gonna have built up a presumably pretty decent experience buff. Make it sound like it's very fast leveling. I think it just takes some time to get ramped up. I only have 3 hours and 4 minutes of playtime in general on this character, so I can't really expect to have accrued that much power that would make me go crazy fast. I think maybe somebody that's put more time into it might be going quicker. Okay, I suppose I put out enough fires. We need to find some survivors to rescue. Gonna depend on how the speed carries through 50 to 70. It's usually where the slog happens. Yeah. I know that some streamers like Max have leveled quite far. So there's probably some data floating around of how long that takes. 3 hours in, 1 heroic boss. Heroic dungeon boss. But yeah, your first character will certainly be your slowest one to level. Alts will be faster. And as I'm getting like more gems and whatnot, I am combining them to get stronger things. So you could take 3 flawed topaz to make a better one. Soundtrack is so good. Hurts when they put in events that last only a couple of weeks. If it helps at all, we don't yet know how long this one will last. We don't know. People can guess and speculate, but we don't have any data that says it for sure. Hopefully it is a decent chunk of time though, because there is a lot of stuff you can get. So if somebody had limited time to play and they're also a collector, this would be a tough one. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much. Wow, it's fractalized. I think they're just giving more options of things to do. They definitely I think that classic and all the different versions of it have definitely served to divide the player base somewhat. But I imagine that within the general classic umbrella, that people aren't that widely divided, right? Like, yeah, we have retail and we have classic players, and I think they're trying to do events that kind of temporarily bring those two groups of people together. But if I'm guessing, and I am guessing because I don't have any data on this, but if you looked at like hardcore classic and classic era and then Wrath classic, I don't know how popular the older ones are. I imagine most of the classic population that is active is, oh no, there's Season of Discovery too. Never mind, everything I say is moot. I'm just making noise apparently. Yeah, we're into another dungeon. Look at that. Wonder if they'll keep it live during War Within. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Like Winds of Wisdom back in the day. Yeah, for them to extend it until War Within release. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. Give people something to do while they are waiting. Hey, I got another 1% XP gain. I'm actually pretty excited about those now that I know that they're not as like guaranteed. I'm up to 6% now. Now Master should be pretty nasty with no cleave. I have more cleave now, although apparently I'm getting sidetracked fighting these hounds that I didn't really need to be working on. I have beast cleave now. Season 4 sounds like it's gonna be dry fast without something like this running alongside it. Yeah. Looking at Season 4, I'm assuming it's gonna keep me occupied for like 3 weeks. Maybe 6 weeks if we're being generous. But I am assuming we're going to clear a given raid on the first week that it's available. Because we already know the raid. I mean, I guess it might take some time to gear. But when you do it concurrently with dungeons, I'm imagining we're going to do our dungeon stuff early, get the gear from that, use that gear to clear the awakened raids, bada bing bada boom, job done. I'm assuming that it's going to take just a couple weeks for my group to get, you know, not everything, but the stuff that we were going to do for the season finished. Maybe that's overly optimistic though, that's just kind of guessing. What is in Season 4 for non-progression raiders, non-mythic plus people? PvP. But I'm assuming that's not what you meant either. I mean, it's a season. So the season implies a new season of Dungeons and Raid and PvP. I don't believe there might be new, there may be a new, I'm assuming that the world, like the gear from open world content is going to get bumped up to the new item level band. So by doing open world weekly events, weekly quests, world quests, etc., you will be able to get and upgrade yourself new modern gear outside of Dungeons and Raids. But I don't think there's any new content for that. I think it's the same content with potentially new gear. Heritage quest, Harbinger quest line, yeah. This is just a normal dungeon. This one isn't even heroic. However, I'm still pretty early in my talents. I do have more talent points to spend. That'll help. At least we have kill command. Although we're gonna be stuck in combat for a while here. Sometimes it's nice to not have a goal. I am in a heroic? A normal difficulty. Mouse over says normal. Savory or sweet pies? I like both, but there's not that many pescatarian savory pies that are... Savory pies in general are not much of a North American thing. They're around, but I think they're more of a UK thing. Why not both? I do a vegetarian shepherd's pie though that I'm pretty happy with. It's some good stuff. It's got like lentils and mushrooms, veggies, gravy, fish pie. I made a fish pie not super long ago that I was pretty happy with. I used fish that I had caught. I had some fish in my freezer that I caught, and I used a few different pieces in my pie. It was pretty good. I don't know if I would go out of my way to make it again, but it was a great way to use up leftover bits of fish. I've never had seafood lasagna, no. Recent vegetarian, you define things like that. Yeah, you can make all kinds of stuff. You just gotta find out what you like. And if you try something and you don't like it, don't feel too pressured to like force yourself to like it. There's so much food in the world. Sometimes people will get very hung up on trying to find like a vegetarian version of something that they used to have. And you can get very much stuck in like a box of thinking about food, and there's so many different things that you can eat that are like formats you wouldn't have even thought of. Plate full of love and calories. Technically not shepherd's pie. I see. How you doing today, kitty cat? You sleep okay? I cracked the window last night to get it a little cooler in the bedroom, and I slept pretty good, but I'm worried that you might be cold. I got another XP gain thread. Man, I'm getting too lucky. I'm up to 8% XP, but I'm getting too lucky at PTR. I need to save those drops for retail when it comes out. I'm glad they have the Dragonflight kind of UI. Being able to track things like these cleave by default above here without needing to set up extra stuff is kind of handy. Beast cleave doesn't last very long. I'm an omnivore, and a friend of mine tried to make a vegan version of pulled pork shoulder. Is that like when the pigs go too hard at the gym? It was jackfruit, and bless her heart, tasted like the concept of despair. I don't think I've ever tried jackfruit. I don't know if I could pick it out of a lineup. Suddenly I relate to pulled shoulders. Tastes like pork. Huh. Oh, versatility. Dungeons have been really good for these thread drops for me. But everybody's got different taste. Food is very subjective. A lot of people really love cauliflower as a substitute for rice or as a substitute for pizza crust. That's a very popular thing that lots of you love, and I'm happy for you. I have emotional requirements from my starch and bread that cannot be met by a cauliflower. Zandalari Warscope was trying to solo it. Noticed its level question marks. Those are typically max level. I had that same experience when I was like leveling alts and running into War Scouts on retail. Nice. And level 20. So that gives the time trial achievement. So I should have that August Phoenix mount now. We can take a look at it. What did the cauliflower do to you? It's just not bread. It's not pizza crust. It's also not rice, but I'm less emotionally attached to rice than I am to bread, so I can forgive it for that. Have you tried using cheese instead of pizza dough? We need the cheese and the pizza. Did it go to my bags? It did go to my bags. Reigns of the August Phoenix. But Hazel, it's only April. Ha ha ha. That's pretty sweet. I've never tried making Nan at home. How do you get bird? Hit level 20 on Time Runner character. The level 20 achievement gives it right to your bags. I am going to take a break and then come back, and soon we'll be able to check to see if there's another elemental storm that we need. But I'm probably going to do some more remix leveling. BRB. I need to sit down, but Kitty's like doing some pretty serious grooming. Oh dear. She's also made the chair kind of dusty. I might grab a damp cloth. Heroic mode, cat grooming. Oh, see you later, kitty cat. I was just wiping down the chair. You can come back if you want. Oh, that solves that problem. Kitty, I miss you. You can come sit in my lap anytime. I bet she'll be back. Alright, let's see. There. What is this? I think this is like cold green tea. Yep, that's what that is. And I have some quests to turn in. There's that. Love that map. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a bit of a mercy that it's fairly easy to get. You only have to level 10 levels in Remix because you start at 10 and you only have to get to 20, and that'll get you that mount, which is kind of nice. Remix testing. So PTR public realm testing for the new Pandaria Remix mode, the new limited time event they're gonna do. I have looted a Drake treat, unique 3, fully restores vigor, grants a burst of flying speed, only usable while dragon riding. That's kind of cool. Did I not rescue survivor? I meant to. Oh, You have to tell them to get out of the fire. If that's not an accurate representation of rating, I don't know what is. Oh, I hope your doggy feels better soon. Hazel, will you be playing Cataclysm Classic? I have no current plans to do so. Unless something changes my mind, they're just gonna have to kitty on without me. Cash of infinite treasures. Bronze. Gems. Up to 2,803 bronze. So we could, if we wanted to, buy one of the mounts off the vendor. Let's maybe organize our stuff. Ooh, don't I have a leech ruby in? Oh no, I have a crit ruby in there. I was gonna say, don't I have an upgraded leech ruby? I do actually, because I can make 2 more of them. I could make a better one. So here, let's right-click that. Turn the chipped rubies into flawed rubies. Pull the 3rd flawed ruby out from the pants. And now turn 3 flawed rubies into a hungering ruby. Epic gem. Woohoo! And that's going to be plus leech. Gives 10. Up from 7. I wonder if that scales. How close to a World Awoken are you? I need 1 more cataloging world quest to spawn for Mr. Natpeggle. I need to do 1 more day of unique Eon's Fringe dailies. And I need 3 more storms. And then I must pet 1 last dog. But that's not going to be a problem. I know where to find him. I'm just saving that for last. Okay. Oh, some boots. 46. Same boots I've got. How easy or hard is it to acquire bronze? It's very easy to get. Comes from everything. Achievements are going to do it. Rares are going to do it. Mobs drop it. Quests give it. Dungeons give it. Scenarios give it. Anything that you do is going to give bronze. Doing harder stuff is going to give more bronze, but and you'll be able to do harder stuff more easily as you get more power from progressing and, like, you know, combining gems and getting up higher up out of level gear and stuff. Storms are the pain point. I say it's got to be either the storms or the cataloging, depending on whether or not we get lucky with the Natpeggle quest coming back around. Yeah, it's tough to say. World is just gonna stay asleep. That meta achievement sounds like work. There were definitely a lot of pieces to it. I did feel very satisfied as I was chipping little bits off of that block, because a lot of them have their own mounts. Like, there's a bunch of mounts that you get along the way. The different meta achievements that are part of the meta achievement had their own mounts, which I thought was kind of nice. I'm gonna have a couple more mounts as soon as I finish those last few achievements, not just Tyvan. But I am excited for Tyvan to be big and tall again. Fishing nets for some people, yeah. I don't recall ever seeing the cataloging quest that has Natpeggle. It may be that it's one of the ones that I actually had done on my evoker, but you have to do you have to find all of the things on one character, and I decided that I may as well do that achievement on my priest. So I've been doing it on my priest. Now she has only 1 left. I think if there is a title, I would do it. Just the map. Tyvan is going to be jacked. What's for? I really hate the cataloging. I feel like it's a punishment for being good at cataloging. If I was bringing any lesson from that meta achievement forward with me into the War Within, it would be, Hazel, just stick with 1 main. Pick 1 at the beginning, and don't switch. And also pick a gnome priest so that you don't want to switch. And that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do in the War Within. I won't have to switch because I'm gonna be a gnome in the first place. What else can they possibly come out with that would tempt me away from being a gnome priest? Got lucky, had a lot of it done since the tier hold fishing hole came up this week. Got all mine done on Tuesday. Nice. How many subs for randomizer for next X-Pack made? I don't know if I would do that. I mean, I'm sure there is a price. There is an amount of money. I don't know what it is. I don't think we want to go there. There's a box we don't want to open. How many channel points? Gnome druid, to answer your question. I don't know, man. If I'm a druid, how can I look at my gnome form? I would be looking at my druid form. It would be a good alt. I don't know about a main though. Hi kitty, welcome back. Welcome back. There you go. I completed one of the Jade Forest storylines with a time runner. Well, a little tiny bit of progress. So those are a big update, and they have 2 sockets on them. The item level 41 legs have 2 sockets, so we want to go pop my new leech gem out of my old legs, put on the new legs, and now we have 2 prismatic sockets, so we can use that leech gem. But we can also use a different one. These are all my prismatic gems. I've got a health regen, I've got haste. Those ones are armor, plus armor. Ugh. And then that one is more leech. Could I do 2 leech? Yeah, I could do a rank 3 leech and a rank 1 leech. That's funny. We also could do, we've got like crit, mastery, etc. I should probably combine. Maybe we'll do the mastery one. Get a little pet damage or something going. So here, this. And this. Flawed Masterful. There you go. Did that give me plus speed? No, it gave me plus mastery. I guess the legs had speed already. Full leech set. Be the raid boss. Baby laser chicken would be very cute. Alright, so they can't make me do the SI7 report. And they won't. Now that I'm level 20, I bet you they would let me. Yeah, they'll let me start Valley of the Four Winds now. I've got my, you've got your pickup quest here. And there, you can just go and do them. This is a Void Elf. I want to see him. I'm gonna gaze upon his glory. I'm a hunter, can you tell? Look up the old link collection. No macros yet, though. I never would have found that link in a million years. You have a special and unique power there. Looks like he needs a cat to pet. I mean, this is sort of a cat. Right? 4 legs. You know, it's got a tail. Kitty cat ears. Cat. Pinker. Yeah. I think I'm gonna spend... I wonder if I'll divide up the zones and do meta achievements in some zones on my priest and then make a hunter for the other zones. Because I don't think you're gonna need all of the zones to level all the way to 70 necessarily. I wonder how far you would get if you just stuck in the Jade Forest and just tried to do as much as you could there. Probably decently far. Checks out. The cloak upgrades as you loot threads, so you'll loot items off mobs that automatically give your cloak more power, and you can see what cloak powers you have so far by mousing over your Time Runner's advantage buff. Yeah, the music's pretty cute. Yeah, I'm assuming the raids, at least on normal, with powers and whatnot, are going to be pretty pluggable. We'll have to see though. The dungeons, at least early, are a little spicy. Here we go. I upgraded I got a thread of power. I got extra agi, extra main stat for my cloak. We're going a little faster now. There's a stam thread. I'll start with a certain level cloak. So there's something you want to see. For Panda Remix, there's these infinite power achievements where every 40 threads that you get, you earn an achievement, and future time running characters begin with those threads collected. So I don't know that it updates dynamically. It might, but the wording of the achievement makes it sound like once you get to 40 threads, that's the cloak that you're also start with, and then maybe you can repeat that with your next 40 threads. I'm not 100% sure of the details, but there is an achievement mechanic in place that interacts with it. I don't know about heritage armor. We haven't seen any confirmation on that. That I've seen, anyways. Someone with PTR said they were specifically wanting to test the alt cloaks. They didn't work. I noticed that I got the achievement for 40 threads, but it doesn't look like it's functioning. Like I earned that achievement, but it's like gone now, so I don't know what's going on with that. It may be a PTR. It's probably just like a testing thing. Storm, Waking Shores, Earth. Nah. Stinky. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it. Yeah, gross, agree. I wonder what my goal is for testing. For the time running today and tomorrow, is there anything else that I want to try? I had some urge to try... Raid Finder's not available yet to me. I had some urge to try the raid, but I don't know if I need to do that, like, this weekend. I want playable vermin. They got it all figured out. I feel like I've seen sub 70 doing LFR. Yeah. Yeah. It's just not in my book. 10 more Plunderstorm levels and I'm done? Nice. You are so nearly there. But I'm gonna be a hot mess in the raids. I've never done them at level. I've barely done them post level. Like I came back and farmed the raids for the mounts, but that doesn't mean I knew what was going on. Transmog changing free, but you cannot save outfits. Oh, I wonder if they'll get that fixed. Do you think this is the direction they want to go for the default leveling method in retail? No. No, that's not way. They are not strangers to having like limited time events that make it faster to level characters that people can use to like get alts caught up, but they also seem to like having like a default leveling experience, and they've got Chromie time for that. Love to see genuine Hosen's playable races in the future. At least you'll get to run Siege without fear of killing your mount run 25 minutes in by killing the bug boss too fast. Oh man. Has the PTR given much of an idea of how fast we'll get bronze? It's not very fast. It's okay. My guessing is that it'll get faster later at higher levels, that you'll be getting much more of it. I'm still only level 21. So I think that's probably part of what's going on. There's that. You want to put those on? No. No. We can zap some more. Oh, can I use somebody else's? I guess I could zap some more gear here. That's the same belt. That I could probably use. It's got double sockets on it. Those are avoidance. Don't need those. Don't need that. It is kind of nice that you can get like a big... I need a better bow. Or I could upgrade my bow with bronze, but who wants to do that? I have to wear those shoulders. Because they're on level 49. Those two things are going to be upgrades. So I got a total of like 115 bronze from that batch of items there. And I've got 2 more to do in a sec here. Tinker Gems. We have a few of them. We have Lightning Rod, Riddle. Riddle sounds kind of fun. Storm Overload. I'm sure at some point, if they haven't done so already, Wowhead will basically tier list these in terms of DPS. I'm basically just taking straight damage procs. Curious how much bronze the raids give. Yeah. Yeah, the Phoenix mount you get for hitting level 20 on a time runner. It's pretty easy to do. You can do it on your first day if you're playing. Helmet upgrade? Yeah. Popping your gems out's pretty easy. That's nice. Is that still my go-to meta gem? The only other one I have is Funeral Pyre, which sounded sounded spooky because it was going to hurt me. Locus of Power, at least, is pretty straightforward. And does not hurt me. Oh yeah, all the little breadcrumb quests. That was nice. Forgot about that. I'm gonna miss Morchu. Here, I can show you guys the level 20 mount again, the August Phoenix. That's what it looks like. Does not currently Dragon Ride, but I would expect it to get Dragon Riding later when they add dynamic flying to more mounts. We don't have any official confirmation on when this will come out. Or even technically when Plunder will end. We don't know for sure. Yeah, pretty bird. I didn't have any Phoenix mounts, so I'm pretty excited about it. Prime Dragon Riding candidate. Yeah. Yeah, I know they were talking about adding it to the Phoenixes, so looking forward to it. At first I was thinking, man, all of this bag space that we're not really gonna need because they're not having, we're not gonna be getting all of this like profession, cloth and ore and meat and whatever. Grays, those aren't gonna be filling up our bags, but little did I know that all of this stuff definitely will. You get your buff scrolls and your health pots and your mana pots and your res scrolls and your gems. 4 different types of gems plus any gear. Class you gonna level? Priest and then Hunter, I think. I'm imagining I'm gonna do Priest first. And be able to kind of heal some dungeons. And then do a Hunter for my second character? Unless I'm just happy with one and I don't feel like I want any alts. But I imagine I'm gonna end up wanting alts, especially because they're gonna go faster the second time. This is rodent violence. Late May, early June? Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not in a dire hurry. But I wouldn't be mad. We have season 4 coming, not this upcoming week, but the week following. So I have like one more week to kind of try to finish my meta achievement if at all possible. Not that don't get me wrong, there's no deadline on it. You can certainly still do your meta achievement after season 4 comes out. I'm just thinking for my own time management planning. Another week to kind of prioritize that and then try to get season 4 done basically as fast as possible so that I am freed up for this. I don't want to have to try and plan time for this and season 4 at the same time. I can, but I don't want to. I won't be very happy about it. Need to check Storm. It's been looked at already. It's a Waking Shores one. Stinky. Once the new season starts, most of my achievement stuff gets put on the back burner. Yeah, I just would love to. I'm so close to being done. I would love to wrap it up. I like these quests a lot. I think this is my favorite mop zone. Jade Forest is very pretty. Jade Forest is a beautiful zone. But as a questing experience, for me it is very much let down by those same vehicle quests that I was getting frustrated by earlier today. A World Awoken is not, as far as we can tell, limited time, but it's understandable to make that assumption because Veil Strider at the time that it came out was. The Veil Strider title at least was a limited time acquisition, and we thought that that was as long as, like, them bringing back that achievement was a bit of a surprise at the time. But they brought it back. But there doesn't seem to be any kind of deadline on World Awoken, which is nice, especially with all this discourse about there being too many limited time things going on. I think it's kind of a bone to throw to give us as much time as we need for World Awoken. I just want to get it wrapped up so I can get it off my desk, get it out of my brain, clear off the shelf, so to speak. I'm gonna untrack that. Need some watermelons. They're using them as boats, which makes me think: do watermelons float? I don't know if I've ever tried. I don't know if it's ever come up in my day-to-day life. They do float. I always thought of them as being very heavy. I suppose more air than. Most melons, fruit in general, floats. Huh. I don't like watermelons. I'm not huge on cantaloupe and honeydew and the other melons. Watermelon is tolerable, but it's like a 2 of 10 fruit for me. But that's just because I'm spoiled by, you know, juicy, sugary things like strawberries and peaches and whatnot. How do people gain this melon-based knowledge? Excellent question. They went to the school of melons. They took melon studies. Would like them to be more conservative in the future with what they make limited time. Loses its appeal, meaning if everything is. I think at a certain point, if everything is, it'll be a thing where, like, you just kind of dip in whenever you want and you dip out whenever you want, and you come to accept that the things that you have and collect are just a record of when you did and when you happen to be playing. I think that you would lose people that feel the need to get all of it. But it's now a new concept for WoW, or other games, really. Oh yeah, I remember this quest. You launch the extra spicy tofu, the watermelon, and the pink turnip, and you have to hit them varying amounts of hard. Am I holding a thing right now? No. I can't. These look like turnips, but I can't pick them up. I'm having a spicy tofu. You can play Evoker. Melanology Warlock. Summon giant melons that get thrown at the enemy. Because I remember you had to hit the tofu very hard, and the turnip kind of hard, and the melon not very hard at all because you were trying to not break them. But you were still trying to launch them. But I thought you just looted these things. Bring some of the food we've gathered to Miss Fanny. Turnips are wow dev. Oh, they're over here. I'm just having a moment. There we go. We got tofu. Hit very hard. I used to play MapleStory, and the game isn't worth playing outside of events just in terms of bearable efficiency. I don't know how long it takes to reach max level. I'm only level 21. Average power? Coming up on level 22. Bloody coin mount. What is the name of the bloody coin mount? And then a follow-up thing to double check. Okay, so let's go take a look at the, we can turn these in, but we should go take a look at the bazaar in the sun. Mushan. Ashhide? Ash something? Ash Ketchum? Ashhide Mushan Beast. That's the name of it. I would be... I mean, I'll go... Well, it's a timeless isle thing. I don't even know which vendor would... Yeah, no, the question was if it was beyond the vendor for bronze. Based on the fact that the other vendor mounts I have not seen on the bronze vendor, I would say probably not. But I haven't checked all the bronze vendors. But, like, I didn't see Golden Lotus mounts, right? Like, on these vendors. I know that's not exactly apples to apples because that's a rep vendor mount, but that's the closest thing I can think of right now. Yeah, and it looks like you wouldn't be able to turn on war mode even once you hit level 20 because you can't go to Stormwind or Valdrakken. Should be a bazaar around here somewhere, right? Yeah. Oh. I finished a quest. I got a cache of infinite treasure. That was just for doing a daily. We've got a Tinker Gem. While above 80% health, attacks consume 2% of your health to inflict holy damage equal to the amount consumed. Is this what was happening to our tanks? They were just wearing gems that hurt you? Oh, dear me. Rostrum here, and then we have an item upgrader, and then I feel like these are the same sets that we had on the other vendors. I've got 3,300 bronze now. Oh yeah, it shows me how many appearances I'm missing from it. Wonder if we're gonna need to do tons of daily quests. I don't know if daily quests are even... They must be, right? Because there's an achievement for getting exalted with Order of the Cloud Serpent. It seems like a lot of it functions the same way that it did back then. I forgot what I was trying to check over here. What I thought would be like different for this particular zone's bazaar compared to the Jade Forest one. Here's Hemet Nessingwary with all the varying mounts. Yeah, there is an achievement for getting exalted with the different reps. Yeah, maybe we are going to be grinding dailies. Oh. Do any of these threads give me plus rep gain? I have plus XP gain. Seems to be no point in doing them if this goes away tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it's a testing weekend, so tomorrow's the last day for remix testing on the PTR. Oh, I got a purple one. I got a new meta gem. Got a cost me 500 bronze to buy it. Learn the following spell. Life Storm. Summon a storm. Call down 5 bolts of lightning every 1 second. Each bolt inflicts nature damage to an enemy within 30 yards. During the storm, 3 flowers grow around the caster. After 5 seconds, they bloom, restoring health, granting haste to allies for 10 seconds. That's a lot of stuff. Let's try it. Oh, what keybind is. Or the cooldown, rather. There you go. Well, that was nice and easy. It's an instant cast. It's kind of cool. It's a 3-minute cooldown. And it's an instant cast spell. I want to try that in a dungeon. I mean, it's a 3-minute cooldown. Love that meta gem. Guess who's back? I hope your D&D went well. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Extra stamp thread. So, how long do we have in play? We've been playing for 3 hours 55, so just under 4 so far in testing. Our cloak is up to 9 main stat, 41 stam, 5-3 for crit and haste, 5 leech, little mastery, little speed, bit more versatility. Not bad. Really not bad for just a couple hours in. And then better. Well, it has less versa. Interesting. Got a house, line up a new adventure for the next set. Rundown tavern with a ghost in. There you go. That sounds like lovely fun. I suppose I should queue for another dungeon so we can try some 2 meta gems. I'd love to do a scenario, but I don't have any faith that this character is going to be able to stick with them. The other thing I could do is I could start an all, like another character, and see how healing feels. I don't think that while the cloak should be in effect for the second character, I don't think it actually will be, based on what I was hearing from you guys about the state of the PTR. So as you're playing, you loot threads that get automatically woven into the cape that upgrade the buff. Yeah, if the scenario bug drops me out of my dungeon queue, I can't. It triggers the lockout, and then if I leave, then the deserter triggers a longer lockout. Let's try a priest, huh? If we're only gonna do a little bit more. I want to see how awful it feels. I mean, I guess I don't want to necessarily dive straight in. I want to get some gems before I dive into healing dungeons, because it sounds like you're gonna need them. Maybe perhaps I should leave this character in like an inn. I may end up needing to log back in to grab a screen cap or 2 of my key. Oh, it's gonna take me so long to set up my keyblades. Yeah. Send yourself extra gems. It's a good tip. I don't even know which ones are extra, though. I don't know which ones I want. I guess it doesn't matter because of testing. Oh, I haven't opened all these caches. 200, 200, 200. Yeah, you're right. Well, some of the things are tradable and some of them are not. It looks like that cogwheel gem is soulbound. Are all cogwheel gems soulbound? Yeah. The tinker gems are also soulbound. So it looks like maybe... What about meta gems? The meta gem is also soulbound. So maybe just prismatic gems are not. I don't even have the character yet. I haven't even made it. Let's make a time running character. pretty much it. She has to look like she hasn't been sleeping. Oh, hey. I'm gonna do the intro quest before I try and trade myself anything. I'm gonna just do these little pack of time running quests. We are technically in Shadow Spec. My interface keybinds were a bit wonky before, but they look okay now. Good. Res, Mind Blast, Amount. Something to that effect. No effect. Yeah, I guess I haven't earned the cloak yet. They give you the cloak a couple of spells in. Or a couple quests in, rather. This zone has calmed down a lot from yesterday, but it was pretty playable even when it was congested, which is good. I don't think I'm too worried about how busy time running is going to be, and I do expect it to be real busy. I think when this comes out, it's going to be very popular. At least for a while. I wonder how many people are going to stick with it as far as getting like all of the new mounts. Or if a lot of people will just kind of play it, get to level 20, get the Phoenix, and then end up distracted by other things before they finish getting to 70. I don't know. Launch Madness is the best part. I do like that you can use your same mounts and pets and transmogs and stuff here. I think that was one of the things that I understood why it wasn't that way in Plunderstorm, but this feels a little more like I don't know, makes me feel more at home to have all the trappings of my WoW account handy. We put all that work into getting all of them. It's nice to be able to use them. I think we're going faster. I also think I've managed to pretty much remember my keybinds. I think maybe when this comes out, I'm gonna prioritize questing for the first little bit. You can do dungeons to level, and the normal dungeons are pretty doable, but I think I might have more fun in them if I've given myself a chance. Sorry, don't mind me. If I've given myself a chance to get the, to get just like a nice selection of powers to use first to play around with while in the dungeon, so that I've got some buttons to press while we're wiping if we do in fact end up wiping. Guys, have fun? Wish me luck. Gonna need it. Good luck with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Yeah, so my advantage buff on live it should translate over, but at least in PTR testing, I suppose we can issue a report. I'm sure they know about this. But, yeah, for the sake of thoroughness. It did not carry over, and it should. That's what I just wrote that bug report about. It's possible that the account wideness of that is tied to the achievement, like getting X amount of threads updates your cloak to that state. But it's hard to tell when it's not working properly in PTR. I keep trying to use my like angelic feather or my body and soul, and all I'm doing is giving myself a normal power word shield.
We've made a thorough inspection of the wreckage on.
And up you go. So yeah, you can at level 10 with like no other talent points do Dungeon Finder if you want to. I don't think I'm gonna do that next time. It was a little too spicy with no buttons. I'm sure on, like, when it comes out, you'll have more people that have more buttons, so you gotta have a better chance of somebody in the group being able to carry you through the instance, but... we don't know when this mode comes out yet. Sometime in spring is the best tip that we have. I'm really excited about it though. I hope it's not too long. It's going to be a busy time in terms of new stuff to try out though, just because I think War Within Alpha is most likely not far away. Probably after this stop. I should make this my last testing character though, because there's only so many times you're gonna want to do this quest. And I'm sure we're gonna end up doing it again when this does come out. There we go. I don't know yet if I'm getting into the alpha. I hope so. If I don't, I might need to consider a career change. This is a tough boat. Aren't you gonna be, I mean, worms in enough years? Fast forward 150 and return to the Earth. Be one with the Earth Mother. Oy. All better. Happy Saturday. Looking very in season. Enchanting green lights. Oh, I thank you. Happy Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's off to a good start. I wonder if this character can do scenarios. That's worth trying. Give me a random time running scenario. We'll see if I can do it. Maybe the problem was being a void elf. Or hunted. Back, getting some old Torghast achievements is giving me Torghast PTSD. There's some lovely cosmetics from that though. Your Void Gnome, close enough. Yeah. I haven't done a scenario in like a mop scenario in ages. I know that they kind of eventually work scenarios to be just like the framework for lots of things, including like the ends of quest lines and sniff and seeks. Meant to be pretty easy? Yeah, I think so. Faster Q. Healed my first heroic and remix at level 25. It was still pretty rough. Tanks get slapped. But you guys finished it? That's great. Oh, looks like so far so good. Okay. Step 1, rescue villagers. I'm going this way. Good, no repair build, but we did finish. Nice. Oh, a good thing that there's no repair bill, yeah. Oh, cool if it was possible to have more challenging difficulties for them, too. I thought there were eventually, yeah, heroic. There are heroic scenarios. I think there absolutely is. I think your wish has been granted. Tanks getting slapped around makes me want to play a tank. Sounds like a personal insight. That sounds like something that is useful on your own self-growth journey. That board made the mistake of starting Family Exorcist. It's the only pet I'm missing from Shadowlands. Oh, that'll keep you busy for a while. Brain is Swiss cheese. That's okay, I understand. My brain is a brie that somebody forgot they left in the oven. Seeing the permanent boost to your cloaks makes Mender on fire. Yeah, the nice big text is exciting. Excellent cheese breads. Scoots called me Disciple of Suffering at one point. Checks out. Also added cheese, this is a problem. I have some brie. I have some pineapple. I don't think I did myself any favors by getting into group content with like 2 buttons. I guess we could, you know what, when I get out of combat, I can learn Shadow Devouring Plague. That'll help for something. There we go. Wow. Does a lot of damage. It's nothing. do leech. This one. And then I've got a mastery gem for that one. There you go, that's something. I think I also have a crit gem. Yeah, Void Elf might have been the problem. That's something for Blizzard to sort out. That sounds cool, but I wish we could have the vanilla version again with less particle effects. That'd be kind of neat. Just more options. I've always wanted them to add a shadow form option that was not even like a tint at all, but just like shadowy ravens or something like that. But that's mostly because I remember having the Glyph of Shadow Ravens back during the WoD Shadow Orb era, and that was like really cool. But I do find that modern Shadow Form with the Glyph of Shadow, the latest version of Glyph of Shadow, does a really respectable job at making your gear visible. I like that. I remember this, the barrel rolling thing. All of a sudden I have to pay attention to color in addition to shapes of my block. What if they do Legion Remix and you have to do Espri's Mage Tower again? For the third time. No. They won't. They won't make me. They're not that mean. Vendors for existing mott mounts. You want Hemet Nestingwary in the bazaar area. So the where all the vendors are, there is a Hemet around there somewhere that has the existing mounts. In Jade Forest, I believe he's inside the building on the right-hand side, but I'm not 100%. He's so enthusiastic about it. Yeah. Do not like this third mage tower trade. Yeah, it's not triggering the good feelings. I need to stop fighting things and find a barrel to roll. Also, my Devouring Plague seems to make things disappear. Why was the brother so fast? Why were the runes spawning in random places? Why are there so many ants? There are new abilities that you can use in this seasonal mode. You can also get class abilities for like other classes, like you can get Heroic Leap on anybody. It's kind of awesome. Oh, thank you so much for the anonymous gift subs. I really appreciate it. Congrats to those who picked them up. That was wonderful, guys. Thank you. I think I broke that barrel. I don't know if it counted. It must have counted. We're at 2 of 6 now. Terrible with the barrel situation. I think I've composted faster than this. Yeah, I was testing Remix in a Hunter. I decided to try a Priest. I wanted to try... Well, I guess I'm not going to get around to it at this rate, but I wanted to try and see what the Fresh Outlaws experience was like, and I had some notion about maybe trying to heal a dungeon, but maybe I can still do that tomorrow. Is this not where you're supposed to return the barrels to? I guess I don't understand where I'm returning the barrels to. It just says return them. I could take them to the middle. Take him to the Brewmaster. Oh. There we go. That counted. I'm helping. Look at me go. Feels so random that only Void Elf broke the scenario. It's also a possibility that Void Elf broke the Theramore scenario, but would not have broken a different one. Because both times that I got into a scenario queue, both of them were the Theramore one. Tough to say. I feel like I betray my cat every time I try to adjust my sitting position, but my leg is falling asleep. Listen, you're gonna have your kitty for a long time. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Just adjust and then apologize. Cat crimes. Apparently I bumped Miss Kira while I was completely unconscious. My partner was saying they heard me roll over and like knock her, and they heard her hiss at me. And I slept through the whole thing. I would have never known. It's the perils of sleeping at Hazel's feet. Sometimes I flail. I don't have any AoEs yet. She's forgiven me though. I think so. I wonder, I mean, for all I know, that happens every night. She always sleeps with me. So if nothing else, it can't be so bad that she wants to sleep elsewhere, because she always sleeps with me. Yeah, there's no new mage tower coming. It was just a conversation people were having. How are we doing? We're at stage 4. That sounds like a respectable amount of stages. I like to think my cat knows I'm sick because she's super cuddly today. Normally all over the place. Aww. I think they can totally tell. My Moosey is extra sweet whenever I'm not feeling good. And then Kitty's kind of sweet all the time, so it's harder to tell because she's always cuddly, but she is extra cuddly. Oh yeah, there we go. That's all. That's it. We did it. Scenario done. Then we know what they should make. It's a Pandaria themed plunder storm. Make it part of the meta. Bronze cash. Alright, so we got a couple things. We got a hailstorm gem. And we've got the tutorial quest to unravel the quest thingy. Oh, socket the chipped deadly sapphire. Alright, I'm fine, but... Well, no, hang on. I wonder if it really will destroy it. I guess it's only a chip. It's only like a little baby gem. I can, for the sake of argument, find out. Here, let's put a plus haste gem in. Right. And then I'm gonna overwrite it with the crit gem that they want. And I'm gonna say okay to destroying it and see if it actually destroys. It did. Okay. That's so funny. Like, they give you the tool to pop the gems out, and you can do it, like, no cooldown, no problem. But you do have to remember to do it, otherwise you can totally destroy your gems. And you wouldn't want to do that because you get... You need them to combine together to make stronger ones. Oh, frost armor. It's a tinker gem. I do feel like the tutorial quests are good. They're short and sweet and to the point. Just walk you through doing the gem combining thing. No big deal. Yeah. That is how it works in retail. I have not found any rings or trinkets. How fast is the leveling, really? It's not crazy fast yet. It would be faster later on as you gain more of an experience buff to your cloak. But yeah, it seems like a similar pace to just, at least at first, it's a similar pace to just leveling a character on retail without any kind of experience buff. You gotta find the XP threads for your cloak. Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm ground mounting around for. I can drag and ride. Yeah, I mean, you'll get cloak threads from all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you can absolutely get threads to drop from outdoor enemies. They might have a higher chance to drop from harder content. I have gotten quite a few in dungeons. People were saying that LFR, once you unlock that, is a good way to do it. But I think I'm gonna not try to min-max super hard because it seems like you're gonna get upgrades and progression from doing basically anything. And if you want to work on the meta achievements as well, you will need to do basically everything anyway, so I think that's my plan. Prayer of Purged Violence. Oh, it's like a buff. Oh, it's like an automatically applied buff scroll. Next attack that reduces you below 35% health triggers Purged Violence. Oh. Yeah, this is remix testing. With this new event, I guess we are being nudged to a new tune as a main. I don't think so. I think it's just an opportunity to level alts. I don't think that there's an expectation that the character that you level in Remix is going to be your new main. Once the event ends and those characters are translated to retail characters, like regular non-time running ones, you're not going to keep access to all of like your Tinker gems and stuff. Like it's your time running powers are going to stay in time running. Feels more like a Diablo season. Yeah. It sounds like you can do OG MOP achievements in this. Not anything that's been removed since MOP, but anything that remained available. You can still get progress and achievements in this mode. I was looting treasures and I was getting progress towards the treasure looting achievements, just the normal ones. Yeah, I like the concept of sort of a Diablo season style thing in WoW. It sort of scratches a bit of a itch that I think I didn't have a scratcher for. Means Blizzard's using to try to nudge more classic players into retail. Should play Diablo tonight. This is a good idea. You deserve a good gaming weekend. Everybody does. How are we doing talent points wise? Yeah. Alright. Rainy and windy here, aka Prime Gaming Day. I wish I could share some of our weather. It's lovely. And I don't anticipate spending a ton of outside time today. They should try an RTS in WoW. What's the closest thing that they've ever tried to that? Within War... Well, alright, dumb question. Warcraft. literally the original game. But you know how they've done like a million little mini games in WoW? You know, we've had Plants vs. Zombies. We've had Bejeweled. We've had roguelikes. Apparently have a BR now, right? Like, I don't think it's past them to put in an RTS. I'd love to see their stab at tower defense. World of Minecraft. We've got a few gems. We can also send over some prismatic gems, that's true. You received Slay. Tinker Gem. When you attack an enemy beneath 10% health, you will attempt to slay them, inflicting shadow damage equal to 100% of your maximum health. You will only attempt to slay an enemy once. That's cool. It's kind of like an execute. That's like for anybody. Tinkmaster Shield. Regenerates after not suffering any damage for 5 seconds. That's kind of cool. I might prioritize, especially on a healer, some of these survival things for dungeon use. Rose HR, thank you very much for the 10-month resub. I really appreciate it. I think Blizzard should give everyone a companion named Moose. Take the leftover assets from the survival game, make a short event with it. Yeah. I can't complain about not having enough survival games. I have lots of survival games. Wish we knew the working name of it. Just makes it hurt more. They should never have told us in the first place. It was such a weird thing for them to announce at the hiring stage. See if we can make it to like the Plot Village here. I wonder if when Remix actually comes out, if I'm gonna feel more like time pressure to race to level as fast as I can. Maybe. Might be kind of fun. I know the Realm First achievements aren't gonna be in anymore, but just for the sake of, you know. Although I might have to stay up past my bedtime if I want to be any kind of an impressive level. Any class race is available for remix, including Director. You can make an evoker for remix. Red Bull Gaming with Hazel. I don't know about energy drinks, man. That would be such a left field thing for me. I won't say never. They do sometimes sponsor people in the gaming space, but like, I don't know, it'd be a bit strange. I need the little guys. Anyone got to 60 yet? Hit it a bit ago. Every quest seems to give only 1930 XP. You are the first person that I've spoken to that's been 60. Speaking of puppy food, Mr. Moose is we're gonna be, as soon as his next bag of food gets here, is gonna be starting his transition into grown-up food. It is time. Apparently it could have been time a while ago, but I didn't know that. He's huge. We've seen a Chill Hazel stream, but ad clip pops up of her chugging a Red Bull and then skydiving. They grow up so fast. He really has. My baby's so grown up now. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still nuts, as puppies are. He's still very cute and bouncy and full of energy and really goofy, very goofy. Does strange things. Does strange puppy things. We keep having to take his water bowl away and then give it back later because he keeps blowing bubbles in it and splashing around and making an enormous mess all over the wood floor of the rental place. Because he wants to play with his water. He discovered when we took him to the lake that it is fun to blow bubbles and bite them and splash around and make a huge mess. And now he's decided to recreate that fun in his water bowl. It's Speaking of Mustafa, what is his favorite food slash flavor of food? If he was stuck on an island with only crates of one type of food, what would it be? It's a good question. I think beef is pretty safe, but he'll eat like all of it. He's not picky. In terms of treat hierarchy, I've noticed that chicken treats are his least favorite type of treat, but he likes it in food and he goes nuts for actual chicken. So it's kind of tough to say. Hope one of those crates doesn't have cheese. You know what else plays in water and eats branches? Beavers. Aren't you hungry? Yeah, I'm gonna lose him. Dog is closing in on 2 years. She's still very puppy bred. I'm learning to try not to compare Moose too much to adult dogs that are calmly proceeding about their lives with like wisdom and zen. You know, a lot of those dogs are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I can't expect my 11-month-old puppy to be quite that chill all the time just yet. I wasn't on this particular walk, but apparently he saw a raccoon yesterday and lost his damn mind. We had a neighbor dog that fully head dunked into his water, paw splashed it all out. Big 100+ pound lab, just such a big goof. Yeah, it's very cute, but it's very messy. And it's tricky because, of course, he needs to have water available. But whenever he's making a mess, he's not drinking it. If anything, I'm afraid he's going to snort it back up his nose and then panic because he's got water in his nose. Because he'll, like, shove his whole face under the water and go brrrr. It's pretty goofy. It's funny. I've saved some footage for posterity, but wisdom and zen doesn't hit till like 5+ in my experience. Birthday plans for Moose? Bubble party? We gotta do something. We simply must do something. Ah, look at that. Pond Village. We made it. Did we get any? Oh yeah, got some bracers. Some gloves. What other gear here? Got a couple of basic little baby gems. I like leech. Always plus leech. Oh, that slot requires a tinker gem. Pardon me. Got a few of those. Should we put in sleigh? I don't think it's that important because it's this is a tinker socket as well. Maybe I'll take the shield. Yeah, I'm questing. Hailstorm, frost armor, tinker shield. I want to see what the shield looks like. Do I just have it? Yeah, 115 damage absorb. Sleigh always. Doggo 7 still puppy brained goofball. How are you doing? Had a pause with WoW's retail in a good state. Which WoW is in the best state? I'm mainly a retail player. I'm excited about this new event that they're working on, which is kind of like a trip in time back to MoP, but not exactly as in classic era. They're doing a different kind of thing. I think retail's good though. I think retail's in good shape. I've got a video clip of my pup spotting a few deer and just vibrating. Had him on a leash and harness so it was safe. Whenever we're out now, if he sees like a bunny, I have to stop him and I move the leash to the front clip so that he can't just tear off after them because otherwise he will drag me down the street. He's learned pretty quick though that if the leash is on the front clip that he cannot tear off, otherwise he'll turn himself around. So he understands that, which means that he doesn't pull, but he hates it because he knows that he can't pull and he wants to pull. So he'll grab the leash in his mouth and you know, express his disdain for the whole concept. Alright, I am done for the day. I am going to leave. I'll be back tomorrow in the morning, probably, assuming everything goes fine. I am hoping to have a news video out later. It is late, and it will probably be pretty late, but I'm hoping to get it done today, so keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.